Hi everybody, welcome. No intro today, just thank you for being here and staying with me. Today we are going to start an in-depth look at Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor and Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, or otherwise also known as the Sussex kids and whatever else, because if Archie is at school in the Montecito area, then he is definitely enrolled under a different name. And I think a while ago someone from the Sussex squad did actually acknowledge that he was using a different name at school. During the course of these videos, I'm also going to post links to my older videos for more wide-ranging and in-depth explanations. For me to go back and summarize each video is almost impossible, because since 2019 I've made well over 1,100 videos, and many of them were indeed about Archie and later Lily. And although I am in a way going to rework what I did in those videos, you will indeed find far more detail in the original videos. Anyway, let's start, otherwise we'll never get through this. In the royal family, it is customary to delay an official pregnancy announcement until about 12 weeks in. Two exceptions were made in recent years. The one was when Catherine was pregnant with Louis. Why an exception was made, I don't know. The most likely scenario is that it was leaking or going to leak, or as an explanation of Catherine's periodic absences, because as we know, Catherine suffered from a severe form of morning sickness. The other exception was Meghan Markle, although in Meghan's case it was not really an official announcement. That only came during their time in Australia in 2018, at which point, according to the palace, she was already 15 weeks in. However, we also know that Meghan and Harry announced the pregnancy nearly a week before at Eugenie's wedding. So, in the Harkles case, it wasn't the timing, but the actual announcement which was against protocol. Harry tells how they pulled his father aside, also William and Catherine, etc., etc. Well, that is not how it goes in the royal family. The monarch has to be the first to be told about a pregnancy, and it's also up to the monarch to announce a birth. Harry and likely Meghan absolutely knew this, yet they still went ahead and snubbed the Queen. I have no idea when they actually told her about the pregnancy. Even in the book, Harry omitted that particular detail. On page 349, Harry writes, "We cornered Pa in his study. He was delighted to learn that he was going to be a grandfather for the 4th time. His wide smile warmed me. At the drinks reception in St. George's Hall, Meg and I pulled Willie aside. We whispered the news and Willie smiled and said we must tell Kate. She was across the room talking to Pippa. I said we could do it later, but he insisted. So we went and told Kate. She gave a big smile and hearty congratulations." Well, as you can hear, guys, no mention of the Queen. And according to protocol, the Queen had to be informed first, also when the child was born. Any case. So the timing of the announcement and the fact that, according to protocol, they should have informed the Queen first was already a red flag, a sign of things to come. Once they landed in Australia, the pregnancy was indeed officially announced. So around about the 15th or the 16th of October, okay? Already in Australia, the red flags waved madly in our faces, but few of us took notice because we were too excited about the new royal baby. During their tour of Sydney, Melbourne, Fraser Island, Tonga, Fiji, and New Zealand, we already saw that the bump changed from nothing to small to medium and back to nothing again. You may notice that the bump she was photographed with on the 15th and 16th was bigger than the one photographed with on the 19th, for instance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the red dress was on the 25th of October and the pink one on the 24th. So, less than a month later, on November 19th, Harry and Meghan stepped out for the Royal Variety performance in London. On the 21st of November, Meghan opened the Hub Community Kitchen. And so far it all looked sort of normal, all good. And then we move into December, and that is where it mostly starts in a more, shall I say, superficial way, where just visually we could see something wasn't right. Anyway, on the 18th, Meghan appears at Brinsworth House in Twickenham with the tightest dress imaginable and shows off a square bump. On the 10th of December 2018, Meghan attended the British Fashion Awards. I cannot really judge whether the bump is bigger or smaller, but it is certainly more rounded and obvious. From there on, it is just craziness. Now the bump starts to drop, grow, shrink, wobble. Absolutely craziness. On January the 30th, Meghan visited or went to meet former and current National Theatre apprentices wearing what is described as a nude pink dress and blazer. Initially, that bump is very round and rather large looking, a little strange, but especially with her still thin and lanky arms and legs. But it is not all. Later it appears as though the bump deflated a little, it's not as round, but like my lawyer, we'll talk about that later, said, babies do change position, so the discrepancy in size and shape, unless it is huge, can be written off as just that, the baby moved or stretched. But what cannot be written off is that in this particular instance, the bump moved up so that there was no pregnancy visible towards her crotch area, and on top, the dress disappeared in a crevice between her boobies. Really? A while later, the whole lot, however, moved to her right, and it was sitting skew. You could actually see the end of the bump where it connected with her own body. And guys, I'm sure many of you have been pregnant. I had 2 children of my own, and that just is not normal. Okay, now guys, I want you to study the 2 photographs of Meghan at the National History Museum on the 12th of February. She arrives with a huge round bump at only about 7.5 months. And yes, it may be a little big for 7.5 months, but it's sort of in normal position, although a bit low. That is until about halfway through the event. Now, please, I'm going to enlarge it on the screen. please tell me what the heck is happening inside the circle. Anyway, moving on. We also, of course, had the smaller bump and what looked like no bump at all at times during her baby shower. Another royal protocol Meghan ignored. Baby showers and gender reveals are not a royal thing. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much more time on the size and movement of strange-looking bumps. I'll be listing some of my old videos below, and you can go listen to what I said when it was all fresh and new. The entire point is that the shape and size differed vastly and did not just differ from 1 week or 1 day to the next, but often from about November, December onwards. It also often differed from 1 minute to the next. She mostly wore towering high heels and even managed to go down on her haunches and get up unaided at supposedly a very far progressed pregnancy, to basically almost ready to give birth. But Meghan Markle is a wonderful person, an absolute miracle. I mean, not only do normal women battle to go down on their haunches and get up when in high heels, but at 9 months pregnant, no way. Anyway, please note that she also went down on her haunches with her knees together. Now tell me, where did the bump go to? Where did the baby go to? I mean, the baby is not made out of rubber. I mean, it has a spine and it has a rib cage at 9 months. So, and a skull. So how did she manage to go down on her haunches at 9 months pregnant? Yet another unnatural stance for a woman 8 or 9 months pregnant. I mean, even at 7 months, I would say it would not be natural. So far into this deep dive, we have discovered that Harry and Meghan broke protocol by not informing the Queen first about the pregnancy by having a baby shower, and later on in part 2, we are going to talk about doctors, traveling, and much more, and you will be very surprised to learn what I have to say. Again, links to my older, more detailed videos are in the description box below. It will provide you with well-researched and, at the time, fresh information on this wondrous, miraculous, maybe alien pregnancy. Okay, guys, until the next one in the series, please take care and stay safe. Bye.